What up, people? This is the Joe McFo Show, and we are at our 50th live stream. And I did not anticipate this coming so quickly. I'm super excited about tonight. You guys are going to get a lot of cool Shadow Boxers related stuff. Matter of fact, this whole stream, as usual, is dedicated to Shadow Boxers. We got Mark of Art in the house. Hello. What's up, man? Thank you for getting up so early and being on the stream. And then Manette is also here. She's saying, woo, 50th live. So who else is here? Bernice is in the house. Yo, what's up, Bernice? Neftali, hello. I'm glad I can make it. Amaris, hi, Joe McFo fam. How's everyone? Sorry, I've been MIA for a while. I've been feeling down and need to get back into the right headspace for art, fun, self-love. That's nothing wrong with that. Got to be about the self-love. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Today is, like I said, it's going to be a really special episode. We have my team coming on here, and you'll get to meet them, and you'll get to hear about their experience working on Shadow Boxers and kind of being behind the scenes. We're also going to talk about some things that are brand new to Shadow Boxers, and so we're looking forward to that. Kira's also on, and awesome. So thank you guys again. So let's get started with the things that you want to all hear and know about. So what are we going to be talking about? First off, one thing you all have to know about Shadow Boxers. You guys have heard it with this title for over a year now, but I've been keeping a secret from you guys. And as of maybe about 6 months ago, this is no longer the title. I've been saying it was, but I've actually been kind of being maybe a little deceptive or lying to you guys. The real title is Shadow Boxers, The Path of Light. And I'll explain why we had to make that change. One of them is for copyright reasons, but the other is because I think it actually goes along with the story. So this is the part that I think many of you guys have been waiting for. What's the story about? What is a Shadow Boxer and what are the powers and abilities? So I'm just going to go and simply read my log line because that is probably the most efficient way I can think of to share the story with you. And it is simply this. The log line is: when a world leader is abducted by a mysterious shadow monster, his teenage son must train in specialized combat to save the world from an invasion of darkness. So that's the log line. Now, what that basically entails is Javen basically saving his dad. That's the whole point of the story. Something happens to Asim in the very beginning of the story. He gets attacked, and then Javen has to go and take his place. Now, the next question that I'm sure you guys are all wondering is, what is a Shadow Boxer? Shadow Boxers are a group of warriors in this world. They are specialized soldiers that have existed for 1,000 years, and their whole purpose is to defeat these shadow creatures. But the thing is, they have not been seen for 1,000 years until this one monster comes back and attacks, and then Javen has to come and step in. And then what are the powers and abilities? Well, that is part of why I changed the title. The powers are light manipulation. Everything has to do with light, the power of it, and each color represents a different ability. So blue does something different from red, which does something different from green and yellow, and all that stuff. So, for example, Javen, he has the ability to manipulate blue light, and he can basically create hard and soft substances. So if he wants to build a slide, if he wants to build a trampoline, if he wants to do something like that, that's basically his thing. He can also create daggers. Think of it sort of like Green Lantern. Kayla can use her manipulation, her red light abilities to fly and manipulate gravity. So you might see her walk on walls. You might see her fly on her hoverboard, for example. You might see her run really fast. So everything related to her is about manipulating gravity. And then Atana over here on the right is her ability is to create illusions. So she's all she can create different illusions in the world. She can become invisible when she gets powerful enough. She can make other things invisible and basically just be this kind of secret weapon for our characters. I'm looking in the comments right now. We got a lot of excitement. Ginger Cell says, I'm here. Wait, we get to find this out. I've been waiting. Yes, you have been waiting. We've been waiting a long time for this. Kate Man is kidnapped. Yep, Kate Man, Asim is kidnapped, unfortunately. But he will still play a key role in the story, so don't you worry. Now, one of the other things I gotta say, because shadow boxers, again, the term is to fight shadows. That's the whole purpose of it. So you have these people fighting using light powers, and their whole goal is to basically defeat the people who are using shadows. Very, very simple. But that is, again, why I changed the title to The Path of Light. The other reason was because there's some copyright stuff along with that. Amanda says, "Oh dang, we getting info." Yeah, see, this is why I said to come on the 50th live stream. This is precisely I knew that you guys would be excited. So yeah, you guys are getting a ton of new info. Ginger Cell says it's a miracle. Yeah. So now some other things I did want to share with you all. I figured it would be fun to kind of take a trip down memory lane and just show you how these characters looked way back when I was in high school. I don't know if I've ever shown these to anyone on live before, but this is the very first drawing of Javen that I ever did back when he was actually called Beto. And I don't know why I chose that name. I went on like a baby name website and found it, and it sounded interesting at 14 years old. And then later on, I got teased about it, and they're like, that name is lame. We need to change it. And so I changed it, and I like Javen much better. So yeah, but he was basically this kind of tribal warrior character. I thought it was going to take place in the distant past, and that's actually, something I thought I was going to keep up with. But the more I focused on the story, the more I realized it wouldn't really work like that. Ginger Cell says not the baby name website. Actually, I've been using the baby name website pretty consistently. It works out. You just got to know which ones are cool. Funny enough, though, this one on the right, this drawing on the right, was done in 2014. You guys can see the date. It says August 22nd, 2014. And he basically looks the exact same as he does now. He's still got the rolled up sleeves. He's got the sweats, and he's got a bunch of stuff, but it's kind of the same thing. So sometimes things work. Beto means not yet in Swahili. So yeah, one of the reasons, actually, now I think about it, when I picked the name, I did that because I wanted him to be like not ready for his journey. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's a different name. Doesn't sound like anything else. It's pronounced Bato. I did know that too, and that's actually why I put a Y in the name at some point. Some of the drawings you'll see, I did just write a Y in there. But that name is long gone. His name is Javen now, and I'm not seeing him in anything else. I can really see the Avatar influence with these first drawings. Yes, you can, and that also is our first hydration check. I had to fill up the water bottle for that one. You guys can't see it, but my teammates, they're behind the screen and they're drinking their water too. So we're all in on it. But yeah, so that's how Javen actually started. He looked something like this. And eventually I made him look like Miles Morales' clone by accident. And I guess that's another one. People said that when they saw the red, that it was just a clear sign. And it was also done in 2018 when the movie came out. And so people were like, look, he looks like Miles Morales. That's so cool. And I'd be like, no, he's not Miles Morales. He's not him. He's Javen. He's doing different stuff. And one of the reasons I changed his color was one for that, but two, also the powers that they have. I want you guys to associate the powers with the clothes that they wear. And so that's why Javen is using blue abilities and he's got on a blue outfit. And yeah, so that's kind of where all that comes from. He isn't Miles Morales, but he is. He isn't, I guess. Bernice says, I remember these. Yes, Bernice was there when I was working on these for the very first time. So let's see. We got some more action poses. This was Atana. This was the very first version of Atana. Her name has never changed. I saw that name once and I never looked back. But she was a very sassy character. As you can see, this drawing on the left, I was like trying to give her some attitude. And I guess I was just really fascinated with really sassy Black women at the time, or I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I made that her thing. I always had her with the goggles. And then later on, I gave her a more simple hairstyle, something with locks or braids. And so it was really fun. I really enjoyed doing these. And again, these are all drawings from like 2011, 2012, when I was a teenager, like senior, junior in high school or something. And then Mark says his name is Beto now, Javen Beto Boxer. That is not the case. I actually do have a last name for him. That's also a great name too. That's a pretty cool one. So yeah, then obviously pushing forward, we got this with Atana. This was originally Kayla, and her name was Kylie at first. And the reason that I switched the name was because Kylie Jenner became very popular, and my teammate Megan once said, you probably don't want to have her associated with Kylie Jenner. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Let's change it. And so I changed it to the closest thing I can think of, and Kayla won. But I had a lot of Amandla Stenberg inspiration. I definitely took Rue from the Hunger Games and put her into Kayla's design, and it was so much fun. But it's crazy looking back on seeing these from 10, 11 years ago, seeing how much things have changed and how some things remain the same. Like if you look at her hairstyle right here, and you look at the open cut in her shoulders right here and the shorts, she looks almost exactly the same by accident. And so, yeah, sometimes that stuff happens. I don't remember saying that. You did say that because I remember where we were. We were at the academy we're talking about it. Pretty sure I suggested Kayla. That is probably true. I wouldn't put it past you to suggest that. Early Atana and Kayla look like the generic edgy Asian girl in cartoons. Yeah, so that was part of it. That was part of the journey. I didn't know what I was doing. I had just discovered Samurai Champloo in anime for the first time. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I just took a lot of visual inspiration from it. Now, this next one is probably the one that is the most different from everyone else. And that is what Ghazali used to look like. His name originally was Legion. And there was also a phase where his name was, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it was Suo, S-U-O. And it was, and I came up with the name because I spelled the word dangerous backwards. And I was like, yeah, he's a bad guy. And I was like, how do I mix this and make it cool? So I just took the first 3 letters. I was like, yeah, it's Suo. And it was totally lame. But it was what I was thinking at the time. And he was totally a 1920s mob boss at the time. He had slick back hair. He had this, I don't even know if this is a scarf or a shawl. I don't know what that is anymore. And then I gave him a mask at some point, and you can see my little notes. It's like small pupils. It makes him more precise and evil, thin, long eyebrows. I was clearly inspired by a lot of stuff that I'd seen. And then I gave Aletha a mask. So I guess it all kind of works out. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Jovan's on, or he says, the more things change, the more they stay the same. That happened to me with my art. Yeah, that happens, bro. That happens all the time. And by the way, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate you. Giselle says, look at that hat. Bernice, you just refined them. Yep, just a little bit of refining. That's all it is. Suo is a great name. I'll use that one day. If you do, please credit me. I would love to be credited for that. All right. And then obviously here is where Ghazali is right now. I changed his name completely, changed his origin story. Everything about him is completely different than what it was before, mostly because there was nothing about him that was interesting. He had no story. So yeah, those are all some behind the scenes stuff that I could kind of pile together for you guys. But now we're going to dive into a new section after taking a look at these other sketches. I forgot about these. And here's my team now. But now is the time we've all been waiting for. I have 2 very dear friends of mine who I met several years ago, and they've been helping with Shadow Boxers. So I'm going to bring them on right now. My team, you guys have seen them on the stream. We are bringing in Kathy and Megan. What's up, y'all? Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. Kathy's repping Shadow Boxers shirt. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Tell us where you're from. Tell us, what your role is with the Shadow Boxers and all that stuff. Let people meet you.
Guess I'll go first. I'm Kathy. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, currently right outside of Dallas, Texas. And I'm a graphic designer by trade. And also in my off time, I do graphic design for Shadow Boxers. I'm also helping out with research and development and just, story details and stuff like that.
Thank you. And Megan?
Hi, I'm Megan. I was born in California. I live now in Ohio. We all met at RISD. Kind of Kathy and Jordan knew each other first, and I poked my head in there at some point. I do a lot of different things: illustration, game design, comics. And for Shadow Boxers, I've done some work with the story, but especially looking at environment, comic layout, and how to transform the story into a comic.
Thank you. So yeah, these 2 have been my rocks in a way. They're just so important to me on my team, and I don't think I'd be as far with any of the stuff without them. So thank you both for coming on. So we compiled some questions that we thought you guys might want to ask. I did a poll on Instagram. No one answered the questions at all. So if you guys have any questions, please just put them in the chat and we'll get to them. I'm not mad. You guys don't have to answer all the stuff I put on Instagram. It's totally fine. Speaking of Instagram, you will notice that these two lovely ladies have put their Instagrams in their bios, and it would mean the world to all of us if you would like and follow their posts and all that cool stuff. But so we answered the first question here, but I want to ask, we'll just go Kathy, Megan. What were your first impressions of Shadowboxers?
I just thought it was a really cool idea. Like, even though you didn't have a lot of like visual development at the time, it seemed like a really cool vision, specifically like the Afrofuturist side of it. And then I also thought that the messages that you wanted to convey through the story were really impactful, really powerful. And I think, these are the types of like positive messages that young people these days, really need to hear.
Like that. I appreciate that. That warms my heart because there's something that I am trying to do that's a little bit different than normal. Like, I've always been very dedicated to having good children's media or young people's media, and I don't want to pander, but I also want to tell something that's still fun and authentic. So same question to you, Megan. What were your first impressions on Shadowboxers?
So my first time hearing about Shadowboxers, we were in a senior year class, storyboarding class, and Jordan was like, I've got this story I've been thinking about, and he kind of put it out, and I was like, okay, and there wasn't much there in terms of story,
Nope.
I'll be real, we're like, oh, we've got this kid and he's going on an adventure and stuff happens, and so I was like, okay, cool. It was really like the ongoing dedication and just seeing it become what it is now that really makes Shadowboxers impressive to me. Everybody has an idea for their personal story, but not everybody can like continue to work, years and years and years. And when I saw the first episode script, I got to see that. That is kind of my like first impression for what it is now, and I was so hyped. I was like, "This is awesome, Jordan! You got it! It's come together!" It was great.
Thank you. Since you mentioned that first script, I'll give you guys another little secret for right now. There's a bunch of secrets coming up, but I'm going to reveal the title of the very first Shadowboxers episode to you guys, and the title is The Festival of Lights. It's supposed to be this one. Yeah, there we go. The Festival of Lights. And I've even included a page of the script for you guys if you want to read through that really quickly. But Megan, you were there with the whole Festival of Lights title. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah. So this was like, I also see in the comments there's like, what made you want to work with Jordan on SB? And this is a great story for that. So he was showing me like a script, like an early script, and it was a scene like talking to Javen, and I was like, yo, Jordan, this stuff is cool, but like, can we show this in like a really visual way? They have such cool powers. Like, what if we do like a festival of lights where you get like, every single power like shows up and there's some kind of display and it's really cool. And Jordan was like, I love that. It's in there now. And so Jordan's always been just like a cool dude to work with, but when he was just like, hey, it's in there now, you really know, like, I really know he's dedicated to making the best story possible, and he's going to take like whatever input that's going to make the story better. And I was like, wow, this is great and fun. This is fun.
It's so much fun. Thank you for sharing that story. Yeah, when Megan told me, first of all, I've never heard of a Festival of Lights before. I didn't even know that was a concept. And when she said it, I was like, yeah, that's perfect, because we could add all this stuff. And all these ideas just kept flowing and flowing and flowing. And from that, it built the pilot, just that one phrase. And so I think for me, it was incredibly exciting to just learn something new. And that's personally the way I like to work, is just find people who can create good ideas, and we just go for it. Like, I'm not one of those people that has to have all the best ideas and only the good ones are mine. I want to collaborate with people. Even some of you guys on the stream, you guys have helped me design characters before, and you guys have had suggestions and with colors or with certain parts of the design. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So it's a big collaborative effort. I did want to address this. Mark of Art says, who is Jamie? Where is Jamie? Jamie knew all along. Jamie is someone who helped me polish up the script, this first draft, and he wrote a lot of it. We haven't worked together in a long time, but really good guy, really awesome, really intelligent, and he had a lot of amazing input for how to help world build Shadow Boxers, and that was one of my favorite aspects of working with them. So you might see his name come up again. We will see. It all depends on the fate of the stars, I guess. But let's see. Where's my next? Let's see. Where are the questions at? Let's see. Best memories and or stories of working on Shadow Boxers. Kathy, what do you got?
It was actually really hard to come up with like very specific stories, but I really enjoyed just working with you on like specifically developing like character motivations. The ones that come to mind in particular were Asim, and him just being a dad and what that dynamic is like between him and his son, and also Katana and Kayla and their sisterly relationship. I feel like I could really tap into that because I have a younger sister. And I guess the other thing too is just like, doing a lot of brainstorming on not only like the abilities, but like the corresponding cultural influences of like the different regions, those insignias we looked at, stuff like that.
So do you want to describe like what we're looking at here?
Oh yeah, this is like you're kind of seeing like the progression of these icons or insignias that we wanted to develop for each of the regions in the overall Shadow Boxers world called Nahara. And each of the regions are based on like a specific light power and corresponding color. And so there was a lot of thought put into like the overall aesthetic of the icons, the simplicity of it. We were looking at all different kinds of cultural inspiration, looking at crests and just different ways to represent like a nation or a state without it just being like a normal flag like we see today, like in our world. And so by the end of it, we kind of landed on this idea of like using the like traditional Adinkra symbols, which are these very symbolic cultural, it's basically a cultural artifact from Ghana, and seeing like, what reference we could take from that in terms of like the meanings behind those symbols and how we could kind of like retool them to best represent those different regions. So like, just for example, the green region is based on the Adinkra symbol for harmony or abundance, which really makes sense because of like the actual green light abilities. So I could go on, of course.
It's perfect. And since we're on this, you also may not know, Kathy's the one who designed the logo. So since I have you on here, do you want to just talk about the process for this and what you thought of my initial attempt here at the top right?
Oh gosh. It's wild.
Before you go, I will say this: the red version on the top was from some sort of like logo generator that I made before Kathy and I were friends. So and this is maybe when I was 18, 19 years old, knew nothing. So don't hate on me too hard. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's hilarious because like I literally don't even remember seeing that logo until like yesterday. So that was like a real surprise for me too. But I think if I'm remembering correctly, this was kind of my entry point into helping out with Shadow Boxers. And I know that you had provided all different kinds of like inspiration for logos. We looked at stuff that was more based on like graffiti or street art, some more tribal stuff. Some of it had a more like futuristic kind of aesthetic to it. And I think it really started taking shape as you began to like make more decisions about like what kind of story you were going to tell, that setting, the messaging within it and the characters. So it ended up becoming more of, and it was a very like collaborative process too. I think we both, took a lot of stabs at it, and I think out of that collaboration, like something really cool and like different came out of it.
Yeah, I'm so happy with how it came out. And I remember that you were incredibly pissed off when I kept asking you for changes because I didn't know quite what I wanted, but I could like hear through the text how frustrated your thumbs were. Like, oh my freaking goodness, like this guy, he doesn't know what he wants. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, it's not there yet. And I was afraid because I was one of those bad clients, It's just like, I don't know how to say it. And originally I went with number 7. This is the one that I kind of like because it felt kind of like the Bad album cover, like graffiti style. But
Yep.
then as I was looking at it more closely, this one, I think your third one, really stood out to me. I was like, you know what? That was actually kind of cool. And that served as the foundation for the rest of the logo. And so now we landed on this final one. So thank you for not being so pissed off that you quit on me. I very much appreciate it because you designed awesome stuff. But yeah, so thank you, Kathy. Megan, same question to you. What are your best memories and or stories about working on Shadowboxers with me and Kathy?
I shared the story about the Festival of Lights. That was really fun. We get a little wild in the streams. The memes flow, and it's we have fun. Kind of brainstorming. And I remember when kind of Zalam was like coming in there, and we were looking at a lot of character inspirations for the first like major arc, and it really came together, and that was just a really fun stream for us, with a lot of like great character motivations and things coming together, and a lot of funny memes on the side and just joking around. So that was that's generally the most fun times for me.
Oh yeah, that's probably like an ongoing memory, I think. So yeah, it's just I've had so much fun being on stream with you guys and just cracking jokes with you all, including those who are viewing all online. It's so much fun. Jay is asking, what are your influences and target audience? Very good question. So for me, the way I always say it is it's Avatar: The Last Airbender meets Black Panther. And that's kind of the easiest way I can say to blend two projects together. Yes, we got to get our water on. And so yeah, that's kind of basically it. There's obviously other inspirations. I was heavily influenced by the Bible, heavily influenced by things like Samurai Champloo, Breaking Bad, Tarzan, Hercules, like all the stuff that I grew up on, Atlantis, Lost Empire. There's so many things that really struck a chord with me when it comes to this project. All right, and I'm making sure I'm not missing any questions here. Are we good? Hydrate. Yes, we're all hydrating over here. All right, next, what were some of the biggest challenges of working on this project for you guys? Kathy.
Ironically, we already kind of talked about it. I think the whole development process for like the insignias for the regions, it was really stressful. You can kind of like everyone kind of saw how much it changed over time, and it was actually a little discouraging because like I think for me part of the struggle was like I was trying to like put my own vision into it, but then I was like, but is this the same as Jordan's vision for it? And at the time there wasn't like such a clear idea for what those specific like cultural influences for each region were. And I think even at some like an earlier stage, it wasn't even like completely set what the abilities would be for each of them. So there were a lot of shots in the dark. I think it's come a long way, and I'm really proud of it now. But I definitely remember being like feeling very challenged by that process.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about you, Megan? Some of the big challenges.
I think Kathy has like done a lot more production work for Shadowboxers, just having those like front-facing things like logos. I think when we get to more comic thumbnails and things, that will be full struggles for me when I can, you know, work through those problems.
Mm-hmm.
What I have felt is like this project is really personal to Jordan, and so you know, you've had some struggles with like how to be authentic and, you know, how to tell your own story and how to make sure that you have creative ownership of your work. And so being on that journey with you and trying to support you through that and make sure that, you know, you didn't give up or you didn't get overwhelmed by that fight of having ownership over your content. I think that's been the biggest struggle so far in Shadowboxers.
Yeah, just to echo that, for me, that was always the thing. Like I always wanted to make sure I could control what Shadowboxers would become. And there was actually a question here, it kind of relates to this. What company would you want it on if you could choose, and which best fits the vision? So that's the thing. If you asked me a year ago, I might have said something like Netflix or Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or something like that. But with the state of the industry, things have changed, and certain companies aren't even looking for brand new IP anymore. So it's one of those things where I have to try and figure out what works best for this project. My biggest concern is just the authenticity staying the same, because there's a certain way I want to portray these characters. There's a certain way I want this world to look. And some people may not like that so much, especially when you get higher up in there. So yeah. And by the way, I like this comment that Mark put in here. Jordan's getting trolls. You made it, my G. Thank you. I'm so proud of the trolls who are coming in here, and I'm blocking all of y'all. But it's great because you guys are boosting my numbers. So it's going out to more people. All your comments are helping the algorithm out. So thank you. Keep doing that. And I'll block you again. So yeah, let's see. I think there's another couple questions here. Favorite characters. Kathy, go ahead.
Atana.
Why Atana?
I think part of it is I love her design. I love the cultural inspiration that kind of went into her and like the region that she's from in particular. And also she reminds me, like I mentioned about her relationship with Kayla and how they have like a very strong bond as sisters, basically. And it just really resonates with like my own relationship with my sister. And she's just really cool.
Megan.
It's also Atana. Stream members will know that I've like started fights about who the best girl is. Now we can say that, you know, her powers deal with light manipulation and illusion, so she's kind of one of the most creative people on the team. So I really connected with that. And when I look at Itana, I can think of what I would want to see in like a character who's maybe creative and a little bit different and struggling to socially fit in because of that.
You know, I love everyone. They're all my kids. And it's hard for me to pick a favorite. I will say this, though. One of the characters I'm really excited about writing for is Aletha and Ishnu. For some reason, those two characters are really always stuck in my mind as like how complex they are. Ishnu, I think, is more of a just kind of like the Rafiki type character, just a fun guardian guy who's just kind of kooky. And so I'm really looking forward to writing him some more. But yeah, favorite character for sure is all of them because they're all my kids. You know, I can't really choose. And let me see. And then last question here that we have is, what are you looking forward to the most? So I'm going to preface this by saying, if Shadowboxers was to become like the next, I don't know, Star Wars or something like that, or whatever that dream is, what would you look forward to the most here? Kathy.
I can really envision us like tabling at conventions. Also, just selling a ton of art books. We're going to be working on putting an art book together, and we're just going to sell out. It's going to be awesome. And I'm also really looking forward to that first watch party when we finally get that pilot episode going.
Yes, it's going to be epic. I love that. Megan, what do you think?
I've always wanted to be on a convention panel, which is a little like maybe a little big headed, but in the short term, um, I'm really looking forward to doing some thumbnails of pages live for you guys so that you can see the process and start to see like the development, because my favorite part is um, sort of the storyboarding comic layout process. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you guys.
I'm looking forward to both of those things. I would love to. First, I want to have as many art books as possible. I have so many. Actually, all of this right here, these are all art books. There's nothing else in there but art books. Maybe one or two writing books, but that's about it. And tabling at conventions, the doing panels and stuff. I've always dreamed about doing stuff like that. And I would also like to see like whatever the list that they have on TV where it says your show got like 7 million people watching. I want to be that one of those people. We got some comments here. Let me just read here. Jordan, I realize we have similar goals in making child youth media with positive impact. That's awesome. I'm so glad you want to do that. And yeah, I think kids, young people, we all deserve something fun. And I think for me, this was my opportunity to create something that I've wanted to make since I was 10, 11, 12 years old. Let me see, what's your favorite thing you worked on so far? Oh, I guess we already kind of talked about that, maybe. I don't know. Would either of you guys have new answers for this question? I don't know.
Not without major spoilers.
Okay. Yeah, no spoilers. I'm trying. I think for me, I think just the writing process has been really exciting because I don't consider myself someone who's a trained writer. Everything I know about it has been through reading, studying, and watching. And so I'm pretty stoked to see what I can produce. Yeah, I don't know, Megan, do you have anything that's non-spoilery?
I think there might be an announcement that relates.
Okay, all right. So we'll come to that. We'll come to that. Let's see. What TV rating do you see Shadowboxers? I don't know the exact TV ratings, but it would be like whatever PG is. Like, there's not going to be like crazy blood or cursing or anything like that. It's going to be available for all audiences. It's probably going to be some like darker themes because there are things like Aletha's literally an assassin, so like there's going to be some serious moments there. But yeah, don't forget to like the video, guys. Oh yeah, please like the video if you like the video, and if not, then whatever, it's fine. How do you write compelling but flawed characters, and how do you give them their own identity, even if their struggles are similar? Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know if you guys have answers for that. If not, I'll take this one.
I do have a good answer for that. I think the core of every interesting character is some kind of duality. Some strength and some flaw, and how they interplay together. So each character has to have their fatal flaw, but also something that makes you want to root for them or makes you keep thinking about them. It's that difference.
I think for me, it's just making people care. I think that's the simplest thing for me, is like, how can you make someone care? So in Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire movie, one of the things that happens to him is he loses his powers and his life just sucks. Like the love of his life is getting married to some other dude. He's losing his powers. He's getting killed every other day. His life sucks. And the first few minutes of the film, you feel that. And so I think the key to getting characters who are engaging is just make them relatable. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to be likable. Like, you don't have to like every character. You could be watching a show, like I mentioned, Breaking Bad. Like, Walter White is a terrible human being, but he's also very engaging because there's an aspect of him that is relatable, and there is something that is engaging about him. So I would say find that balance, and then also just study the characters that you personally like. And that, again, that's one of the things about Shadowboxers for me, is I'm trying to create something that I personally would like. I'm not really trying to impress other people, although I hope you all are impressed by what we make, but that's not necessarily the core reason I'm doing what I'm doing here. So yeah, good question though. Teamwork makes the dream work, and y'all got a golden team. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I want more spoilers. I think you'll get some. I think you'll get some later on. Is Aletha working for the Shadows? How do the Shadows pay her? That is also a spoiler question. I cannot answer that, but I will say this: Aletha will be very prominent, and you will find out relatively quickly where she derives from, what her whole story is, and what her role is in relation to all the other characters. Although my work is leading into a bit heavy thing, so it'll be a PG-13 and more PGs, depends on the story and themes. Yeah, it really just depends on what you want to do. And that's the freedom of storytelling. You can make any story engaging, whether it's G or R or anything in between. So yeah, super, super fun. Now, I'm trying to think what else, what's next. I'm looking at my slides here. And okay. So we come to one of the big announcements that we wanted to share with you guys. And that is we also have a brand new website. It is shadow-boxers.com. And if you would like, please sign up for the mailing list, and the mobile version is coming soon. But as you guys might have right up here, it also says merch. So we're going to click on the website right now, and I'll just show you guys the layout of everything. So we have, by the way, this was designed by Kathy. So thank you so much, Kathy, for doing this. But yeah, we have our log line right here. We have all of our characters: Javen, Atana, Kayla, Ishnu, Asim, Zalam, Aletha, Mashaka, Ghazali, all the characters that we have put into this world, the main characters. We don't have Chef Fufu on the page or anything like that. He might come later on. We'll see how involved in the story he is. But yes, we have that. We got an about section if you want to learn more about who I am and stuff, although I'm pretty sure most of you already know. And eventually we're going to put Kathy and Megan on this page as well. Next up, we have our gallery. This is basically the same as the Shadowboxers Instagram, which is right here, by the way, shadow.boxers, if you want to check out the artwork we have there. But the thing that I want you all to see is we have a merch store. So some of you guys have been wanting stickers. Some of you guys have been wanting water bottles and shirts and stuff like that. So we have provided. So what we're going to do is just start off with this, but depending on how things go, we actually have a lot more designs that we did not publish that we still want to edit, but we have like 30 other things that we're ready to put out there. So maybe like every week or every stream, maybe we'll announce a new product in the merch store. But yeah, we got stickers of the 4 main characters. We got Aletha's mask. We got water bottles of Javen, Atana, and Kayla. Those were all drawn by Kathy as well. We have a Shadowboxers t-shirt. We have a Tana shirt, and then we have this hoodie with Javen on the back, and then there's a small logo on the front. And if you would like to support us, this is the best way to do it as of right now. So yes, we have our website, and we're doing our thing, guys. We're moving in big. Too late, I'm already on there. Design Queen Kathy. That looks fantastic. Kathy's got lots of hearts. Yes, it's super awesome. And again, we're going to make more stuff. This is just what we're starting with, and we want to make sure we come up with some really cool stuff for you guys. Will you show Javen's mother and her role in the story? Yes, she will be in the story, but as to how and when and what her position is, that's a spoiler. I'm gonna ask this again: is the Discord now open to the plebs? Well, it's funny you ask that, because yes, we do have a Discord. It's actually already in the description. So if you click on this description of this video, you can join the Joe McFo Show Discord. We have a public channel that's for, or public channels that are for like everyone. But then we also have a Shadowboxers section that's specific. It's not locked. You don't have to go behind a paywall. We don't need your money for Discord. But this is a place where you guys can just talk with me if you want. You can share some fan art. If you would like me to post any fan art you guys do and put it on Instagram, feel free and just let me know. And yes, so Mark, to answer your question, we do have a Discord that's open to the plebs and everyone else. Christian's like, hoodies. Caitlin's screaming, I guess. Can't accept orders right now. That's all right. Well, if there's an issue, we'll fix it. We had to kind of scramble to put things together, but just know that it will be up and working 100% very soon. Aletha's mask. Yes, we knew you wanted Aletha's mask. Actually, Megan is the one who reminded us when we had a meeting last night. She's like, make sure you put Aletha's mask. And I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, shoot, I got to make her mask. So I redrew it and everything. And so, yeah, Aletha's mask is in there. I know, Manette, the mask is in my cart. Yes. So those are some cool updates. I told you guys this was going to be an exciting stream for you all. And so we got, obviously, you got spoilers. You had powers. You know what the deal is. I haven't revealed everything about the powers, but you got a majority of it. And we got a couple more things to share, but one thing I did want to do, I wanted to give a shout out to the people who have been supporting us throughout this journey. So I wanted to shout Amanda. These are her drawings, and she got Javen, Aletha, and ASAP Bunny. Super awesome. Thank you so much. We got Mike's drawings over here. I don't know if he's on the stream, but Mike, if you're watching, we appreciate your fan art. And then we got some other people. We got Manette, we got Random Art, and we got Mark, of course. And thank you guys so much for how you guys have just been supporting Shadowboxers. Like, it really means a lot to us. And so, yeah, keep making art. And if you're mad at me for putting this out here, get over it. Now, now, we also got some other art here. These are some ancillary art from Megan. So she's also been doing some stuff that I think is really fun. We got this Javen Samurai Jack style. We got Caleb and Kayla. I don't think we anticipated the names being so similar, but we got these drawings right here. And then we got Kathy, who has some cool drawings of Javen and Zalam. And then I really like this one, my dad, the champion Shadowboxer. By the way, I forgot to mention this. The position of the leader of the Shadowboxers is called the champion. That is Javen's dad. So that he will be the champion Shadowboxer, and then Javen will be the heir apparent. So yeah. And then let's see what else we have here. One big announcement. I think this is what Megan was referring to. We are going to create a mini series. These are going to be mini episodes following the 5 main characters of Shadowboxers. We'll have Javen, Atana, Kayla, Ishnu, and Aletha. And we're going to call it a Cypher series. And for those who do not know, a Cypher is basically in hip hop and rap music. You'll have a freestyle going and you'll pass it off one person to the next, but they all connect. And that's kind of the theme of how this story goes. But I know, Megan, you wanted to say something about this too.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. They're going to be, like I said, mini stories. It's not going to be like a 400-page epic or anything like that, but it's going to help us to be able to get pages out to you guys faster because they're going to be smaller, contained stories, and it'll get you guys a chance to be introduced to all the characters. And let me see, not this one. This one is just to show you that we are working on it. Here's a page from the script. Here's the title page. So I have been actively working on the writing process, and I'll tell you, Javen's episode is going to be called The Art of Peer Pressure. So you guys can figure out what that means amongst yourselves. Let me see. Producer saying, woo, it better follow Chef Fufu and Pork Chop as well. There might be a little cameo appearance. I have not written them in anything just now, but I might. I very well might, based on your suggestion. Christian says, that's dope. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, so we lots of cool announcements. But I think that is just about all the things I really wanted to share for the day. I don't know, did either of you guys have something else that you wanted to say, like so many final words to our crew, our Joe McFo fam out there? Kathy?
I think it goes without saying, but we really couldn't have done all this without your support. So we thank you so much. Well, I'm really excited to see, where Shadowboxers goes, of course, and the contributions that you all bring to it.
Megan?
I agree completely. Thank you guys for your interest in the story. It means a lot. I'm really excited for this Cypher series and working on it with you guys. So seeing as much as possible, there's going to be a lot of spoilers or information that's going to come out where you'll really get to see like powers in depth and relationships between characters and really get a feel for the characters. So I'm really excited to bring that to you. And we've got ideas for the stream plans, like, hey, this has an establishing shot here in the script. We've got to design it. We've got to lay it out. If there's 3D that comes in, we got to do that. And you guys will be there for all of that.
Yeah. So it's gonna be pretty dope. I don't want to overshare or anything, but I'm looking forward to it. We all got smiles on our faces, so I think you guys know how excited we are. And I see the same question sort of being asked twice. When's the first comic coming out? Which platform will you use? Any kind of timeline for release dates? We don't have a timeline for a release date. Realistically, we all have other jobs. In my case, I have like 4. And so in order to not overwhelm myself, I can't give an exact timeline right now, but I will say that we are actively working on it. Now, as far as the platform that we'll be using, then we're just going to do some research and see. One thought was Webtoons. The other thought was we could put it on the website ourselves. That's part of the reason we even created the website, so we could host it in case they shut down or another website shuts down. Most likely it'll be in multiple places, but when the announcement comes out or when it's ready, you guys will be the first to know. Trust and believe, you all will be the first to know. And then let's see. Mark says, did someone say 3D? Yes, someone did say 3D. We might need some help with that. So we will see. We might have to contract some people. Christian says, seeing how far y'all have come is so cool to see. I can't wait to see what's next. Thank you, man. We really appreciate it. Naeem, oh, what's up, dude? Thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate you for supporting. One of my favorite professors I had. That warms my heart. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I got the best audience. It's a small audience, but it's the best audience. I really appreciate y'all. Now, after all that, I do have some level of sad news, and that is that next week there was no live stream, and that's because I'll be at Lightbox and I'll be exhausted. So we're going to return in the first week of November when I have my energy up again, and we'll do some more Shadowboxer stuff, and we'll figure out what that is when the time comes. So yeah, we just want to say, again, thank you so much for all your support. I hope this live stream was satisfying for all you guys who've been waiting for so long to figure out what is this project that we've been keeping a secret for so long. But yeah, you guys got a lot of stuff. We got the website, we got the Discord, we got merch, we got spoilers for stories and all that stuff. So yeah. But anyway, thank you all again, and we'll see you next time. Peace.